I'm just going to put this in and this and this, and then I'll add that, and then I'll teach them about this. And you've guessed it. Today we're going to be talking about when to stop adding content. Hi, I'm Sam Nordberg. Welcome to this week's mini training, and this week we're talking about when to stop adding content. I was asked this really great question the other day, which is, how do I know when I'm going to overwhelm my students, and how do I know when I should stop writing stuff in? And it's hard. You see, you know what you know because of years of experience, or heaps of practice, or plenty of time doing that thing you love to do. You need to remember then that all of that stuff inside your head has built up over a long period of time. You didn't learn all that in one course. Now, your students then are in the same boat. They don't need to learn everything that you know in one course. In fact, they can't. They cannot learn all of that stuff from you in just one course because it's not physically possible. So how do you know when to stop writing? How do you know when you've got too much inside your course? There are some important things to consider here. First, you need to consider what level is your student at before they come to you. This makes a really big difference. You see, if they're right at the beginning of their journey, if they don't know anything or very, very little, then you're going to put less in your course than you expected to, because everything you teach them is brand new concepts and it's going to take them a while to get their head around it. What you need to be focusing on your course then is implementation, not necessarily on new content. If they're in the middle of their journey, maybe they know some stuff already, your content can build upon previous skills and previous experience, which actually means you can put a little bit more in because they've already got some of that underpinning knowledge that makes it easier for them to understand what you're talking about. Of course, if they're quite advanced students and you're adding upon years of experience, then some of the stuff you put in can be a little bit more complicated and you can put more of it because they already have the grounding that means that all of that is going to make sense to them. So first question you need to ask yourself, how much do your students know already before they attend your course? The second thing you need to consider is how much time are your students going to be dedicating to learning from you? This is one of the biggest, most important questions you can ask, and you need to be really honest with yourself here. We're busy people. I'm busy, you're busy, and no doubt your students are busy. They're dealing with life, work, kids, families, whatever else is going on in their lives. And they do not have 8 hours a day to sit and dedicate to your course. Normally, unless they're coming to class, and that's different. So what you need to do is consider how long they're going to be spending on your course and then build your chunks to fit that need. What I strongly suggest you do here is you get a tester, not yourself. You make a terrible tester, just by the way, because you already know what you're putting in there, so it makes sense to you. I want you to find a tester who is about the right level of competency that your students are going to be at. And when you've got one chunk ready, you're going to give your chunk to them. Get them to go through the video, read the PDF, do the activity, and time the process. How long did that actually take them to do? How long did it actually take them to implement the thing you've asked them to do? Then you're going to add a little bit extra to that, because if they were on a timer, they were probably pushing through quite fast, and your students might not be pushing through quite that fast. And then you have an accurate, fairly accurate representation of how long that thing takes. Things to consider here. I recommend teaching no more than one module a week. That's one main topic a week. So if you've got 6 topics you need to get through, you've got a 6-week course. I then recommend no more than a couple of chunks a week, which might be 3, 4's a bit of a push. Play with it and see what works for your students, but 3 is a pretty good sort of every second day kind of a delivery method. So then those 3 chunks, how long do they take to go through? Did it take your tester 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 hours? If it took them 5 hours, it's probably too long. Once you've worked all that out, you'll be able to see quite easily if the content you've got is too much, and it probably is. It's very common for people to put too much in their first course. Not that they don't have enough, but that they're trying to squish too much in. People feel that they need to add all this stuff so that they've given great value. And value is not just about the stuff you shove in, it's about the support and the implementation they get. So remember, first of all, how much does your student know? The less they know, the less you're going to give them because they need to really understand those concepts. And then secondly, how long does each bit of your course actually take? I recommend giving them no more than a couple of hours work a week because they're not going to have time for it. Once you've tested it, you'll know if that's the case with your course and you'll probably need to cut back. So I'd love to hear from you. Tell me down below. Did you get anyone to test your content, and how long did it take to go through? And how long do you think your students have in a week to go through your content? How much is too much? And as always, I will see you next week.